Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that right now inside every cell of your body, there's a divine code waiting for your command, that your DNA isn't fixed, it's listening. Every word you speak, every thought you think, is programming the future you're about to live. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are the author of your genetic destiny. Speak to your DNA with the language of power, and watch your entire reality begin to rewrite itself before your eyes. Within the silent chambers of your being lies a living intelligence, an ancient and divine code that responds to every word you speak, every thought you entertain, and every image you sustain in your mind. Your DNA is not a fixed script, not a lifeless sequence of molecules. It is a living language written by the Spirit, vibrating to the tone of your consciousness. When you speak to it with faith, reverence, and conviction, it obeys. When you fill your inner world with divine ideas, your body and circumstances begin to shape themselves according to that higher pattern. You are not a prisoner of heredity, you are the master programmer of your destiny. Each strand of your DNA carries infinite potential, waiting to be awakened by your belief. Science may call it genetic activation, but the mystic knows it as spiritual remembrance. You were never meant to be a victim of ancestral limitations or emotional burdens passed down through generations. Within you lies the power to rewrite those patterns through the commanding force of consciousness. Every thought charged with emotion is a decree sent to your cells, instructing them to produce harmony, vitality, and expansion. Your DNA listens. It listens when you say, I am whole. It listens when you say, and I am blessed. It listens when you affirm, I am the divine pattern of perfection made manifest. When you rise in the morning, before the world impresses its noise upon your mind, go inward. Feel the quiet pulse of life within you. Speak softly to your being. I am one with the infinite intelligence that created me. Every cell of my body vibrates in harmony with divine perfection. My DNA is now responding to the higher frequency of love, peace, and abundance. As you repeat this, you are not merely uttering words, you are transmitting light, and that light carries instruction. It moves through the molecular structure of your being, rearranging, healing, transforming. You are communicating with the blueprint of your reality. Your DNA is both physical and spiritual. It mirrors the state of your consciousness. When you dwell in fear, self-doubt, or resentment, your inner code receives those vibrations and mirrors them as dis-ease, conflict, or limitation. But when you dwell in faith, gratitude, and expectancy, your inner code shifts, reorganizing itself to reflect divine order. You are the alchemist of your inner world, transmuting emotional energy into creative power. The atoms of your body obey the voice of belief. Every thought sends an electrical signal through your nervous system. Every feeling releases a chemical message. Together they create a symphony of instructions that shape your biology and your destiny. The universe speaks in energy, and energy obeys attention. What you consistently hold in consciousness becomes encoded in your being. If you continually affirm, I am strong, I am guided, I am prosperous, your DNA receives these as sacred commands and begins to orchestrate the conditions necessary to make them real. Your words are not idle. They are vibrations of spirit moving through the field of creation. Every affirmation is a seed planted in the garden of your inner world, and your DNA is the fertile soil that receives it. Speak only what you wish to grow. There are no barriers between your spirit and your cells. The life principle within you is one unified intelligence. When you picture health, love, success, or divine guidance, that image imprints upon your subconscious, which then directs the energy of your DNA to reproduce that image in the physical world. The creative process is always inward first, outward second. You are not at the mercy of your genes are at the mercy of your awareness. You have the authority to instruct your own biology. Say within yourself, every cell in my body now responds to the divine order of harmony and renewal. I release all false codes of limitation and affirm that the blueprint of infinite perfection is now active within me. Imagine your DNA as luminous strands of light, pulsing with divine intelligence. See them unwinding, releasing every pattern of fear or disease, and reweaving themselves with the radiant frequencies of joy, love, and confidence. Feel gratitude as if this transformation were already complete, for in the timeless realm of consciousness it already is. Gratitude seals the instruction, anchoring it in your subconscious mind, which then commands your body and reality to follow suit. The subconscious never argues. It accepts whatever impression you give it. That is why your inner speech must always be noble, pure, and aligned with the divine. Every miracle that has ever taken place in the human experience began as a shift in belief. When a person dares to speak to the unseen intelligence within and declares, "I am free from every limitation," the universe reorganizes itself to fulfill that statement. You can change your emotional chemistry, your health, your relationships, even your environment, by speaking the language of divine conviction. Do not plead or beg life to change. Command it through understanding. The spirit within you does not respond to fear. It responds to certainty. When you affirm a truth with feeling, you impress it upon the very matrix of creation. You were designed to evolve, to ascend in consciousness, and your DNA is the sacred bridge between the invisible and visible realms. When you elevate your thoughts, you elevate the vibration of your cells. When you dwell on divine ideas, you activate dormant portions of your genetic code, unlocking new capacities of perception, creativity, and resilience. The masters of old knew this. They spoke words of power, mantras, and affirmations that reprogrammed their reality. The same principle operates in you today. Speak to your DNA as you would speak to a beloved friend. Bless it, thank it. Instruct it to express the divine plan of your life in perfect order. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to rewrite your inner code. When fear arises, do not resist it. Transmute it. Say, "I transform this energy into faith." When lack appears, affirm, "The substance of infinite supply now flows through every area of my life." When pain speaks, answer with, "The light of divine healing fills every cell of my being." Each of these statements is a key that unlocks new patterns within your DNA, instructing it to generate corresponding experiences. You are never powerless. You are the living scriptwriter of your destiny. Your DNA is listening this very moment. It is responding to every vibration you emit. Fill your mind with noble ideas, saturate your imagination with beauty, and let your words become vehicles of divine command. Speak often to your inner being with gentleness and authority. Tell it, "I am aligned with the higher law of life. My mind is a conduit of infinite intelligence. My DNA radiates health, vitality, and perfect order." As you do this consistently, the invisible becomes visible, the spiritual becomes tangible, and your future begins to rewrite itself in the image of your divine intention. Everything in your life is energy shaped by attention, molded by faith, and brought into form by repetition. Your DNA does not distinguish between imagination and experience. It records the vibration of belief. When you visualize the life you desire, and when that vision is charged with emotion, your DNA treats it as real, transmitting signals that call matching experiences into your field. This is why the dreamer who believes finds his dream materializing, while the doubter who fears finds his fear becoming flesh. You are the cause, not the effect. You are the author, not the story. You are the living word shaping substance into manifestation. Begin to understand that every thought is a pulse of creation. When your inner dialogue is filled with, "I can," "I am able," "I am worthy," you are reconfiguring the structure of your being at the most intimate level. The strands of your DNA shimmer with the light of your conviction. They reorganize themselves according to the blueprint of your faith. The cells of your body rejoice when you bless them with loving thoughts. Speak to them as divine instruments. Tell them, "You are radiant with life. You are perfect expressions of infinite intelligence. You serve the great design of love." Such words carry power beyond imagination, for they harmonize your inner temple with the cosmic order that sustains galaxies. The world outside mirrors the frequency you sustain inside. When you learn to command your own inner dialogue, life becomes cooperative. The winds of circumstance begin to shift in your favor. You will notice divine coincidences, inspired ideas, and gentle nudges guiding you to the right places and people. Nothing happens by chance in a universe governed by consciousness. The alignment of your DNA with divine order draws new realities as surely as the magnet draws iron. Your task is to remain steadfast in faith, to speak the truth of your divine identity until every cell vibrates with it. Your past does not determine your future. What you call past is merely memory, and memory is energy imprinted upon your subconscious. You can rewrite it. You can speak to those patterns of pain or limitation that seem to follow your family line and dissolve them in the fire of new awareness. When you declare, "I release every false pattern inherited from fear," your words reverberate through the ancestral code. They send light backward through time, cleansing, balancing, and restoring harmony to all who came before you. You become the point of transmutation for generations. You are the healer of your lineage, the restorer of divine design. The moment you claim this authority, the chains of the past lose their power. Your DNA is more than a physical sequence. It is the receiver of divine transmission. The Spirit communicates through it. When you still your mind and enter the silence, you attune yourself to higher frequencies of guidance. In those moments, inspiration flows effortlessly because you are in resonance with the universal pattern. Speak silently within. I am open to the infinite wisdom within me. My DNA translates divine ideas into perfect expression. Every cell hears the voice of Spirit and obeys with joy. Feel the warmth of that truth flowing through you like living light, renewing your strength, aligning your emotions, and refining your perception. You are not separate from creation. You are creation in conscious form. The same intelligence that orchestrates the stars and tides breathes within your DNA. When you trust this truth, fear dissolves. You realize that there is no need to struggle or force outcomes, for the pattern of fulfillment is already encoded within you. Your task is to remove interference, doubt, guilt, resistance, and let the divine blueprint unfold naturally. Like a seed that already knows how to become a tree, your soul already knows how to become what it is destined to be. You activate that destiny through faith, filled thought, and loving affirmation. Every word you speak with conviction is a command to the field of energy surrounding you. Words are containers of power, and their vibration alters the geometry of light in your aura. When you say, I am peace, the molecules of your being align to that frequency. When you say, I am abundance, the electrons in your field begin to attract conditions of plenty. It is not fantasy, it is the natural law of correspondence. Your outer world is the echo of your inner tone. Speak often in the language of your ideal self. Let the phrase, I am, become a sacred invocation, for whatever follows those words becomes the command to your DNA. Visualize yourself surrounded by radiant light, a luminous field extending from your heart and permeating every cell. See your DNA spiraling in golden motion, glowing with vitality. Speak inwardly. The divine intelligence that created me is now perfecting me. My DNA expresses the highest pattern of health, strength, and divine purpose. Every cell vibrates in perfect rhythm with infinite harmony. Repeat this with feeling, with certainty, and let gratitude arise as if it were already so. The energy of gratitude magnifies the imprint upon your subconscious, accelerating manifestation. Never underestimate the subtle power of emotion. Joy, love, and gratitude carry frequencies that unlock hidden codes within your DNA. These emotions act as divine catalysts, triggering regenerative processes that science is only beginning to glimpse. When you live in appreciation, you send a signal of coherence throughout your body. Every system begins to align, every thought becomes clear, and every action flows effortlessly. In such a state, life seems to conspire in your favor because you are vibrating in unity with its essence. You become a conscious creator rather than a passive participant. Each time you affirm a divine truth, you dissolve layers of limitation. Speak to your DNA when you feel weak. The strength of infinite life flows through me now. Speak when you feel lost. Divine guidance directs my every step. Speak when you feel doubt. The intelligence within me knows the way, and I trust it completely. These affirmations are not empty phrases. They are living frequencies that reshape your inner architecture. The subconscious accepts them as reality, and the cells follow suit. You are literally transforming the chemistry of your body and the structure of your destiny through spiritual command. The more consistently you practice this communion, the more visible the results become. You will notice healing where there was pain, clarity where there was confusion, opportunities where there were none. Life begins to reorganize around your new vibration. You will find that situations, people, and possibilities align perfectly, as if drawn by invisible threads of intelligence. That is the universe responding to the new instructions you have written into your DNA. As you continue to awaken, you will realize that even the limitations you once feared were teachers. They pressed you inward, forced you to discover the power hidden within. Every struggle becomes sacred when you see it as a call to remember your creative authority. Nothing is wasted. Every experience refines your frequency. You are the sculptor of light shaping yourself through consciousness. The divine code within you delights in expansion. It longs to express more of its infinite nature through your individuality. There is a point within every person where the finite touches the infinite, where human awareness meets divine intelligence. This sacred meeting place is your heart, and your DNA is its instrument. When you feel love, pure, unconditional love, you activate the highest frequencies of your being. Love is the master key that rewrites the code instantly. It harmonizes every discord, heals every wound, and reveals the truth that you were never separate from perfection. Speak love into your being. I love the life within me. I love every cell, every breath, every thought. I am one with all creation. Such words ignite miracles, for love is the very substance of the divine pattern. You carry within you generations of dreams waiting to be fulfilled. The courage of your ancestors, their hopes and visions, are encoded within your cells, urging you to continue the great unfolding of consciousness. You honor them not by repeating their struggles, but by transcending them. When you declare your freedom, you free them too, for energy is eternal and connected. Say with conviction, I now awaken the divine heritage within me. Every line of my ancestry is now illuminated by love. I carry the torch of evolution forward, rewriting the code of my lineage in light. Your DNA is not just the record of what has been, it is the script of what can be. The future exists as potential within your present vibration. When you align your thoughts with divine intention, you draw that potential into visible reality. Time bends to the will of consciousness. The moment you affirm something as true, the universe begins rearranging itself to make it so. Therefore, choose wisely the truths you affirm. Choose faith over fear, abundance over lack, love over resentment. Every choice writes a new line in the book of your destiny. The more you live in conscious communion with the intelligence within, the more effortless your transformation becomes. You cease to struggle and begin to flow. You stop reacting to appearances and start creating from awareness. You realize that heaven is not a distant realm, but a state of alignment within you, a frequency you can embody now. When your thoughts, emotions, and words harmonize with the divine code, your DNA sings the song of perfection. And life reflects that melody in every form. Your journey is not about becoming something new. It is about remembering what you already are. The divine pattern is complete within you, waiting to be expressed through your recognition. Speak often to that truth within. Feel its power responding. Know that every time you affirm your divinity, your DNA listens, adjusts, and radiates that vibration through every atom of your being. When you realize that every cell in your body is a point of consciousness, a living listener to your thoughts and feelings, you begin to live differently. You begin to speak differently. You no longer treat your words as idle sounds, but as currents of energy carrying divine instruction. You start to sense that you are surrounded by a field that responds instantly to the quality of your vibration. You see that the invisible fabric of life bends to the impressions of your inner world. This realization changes everything. You understand that prayer is not only asking, it is aligning. It is synchronizing your own frequency with the frequency of divine intelligence so that the perfect pattern already existing in the higher realm may express itself in form. You are not small, you are vast beyond measure. The body you see is only the instrument through which consciousness plays its symphony. Your DNA is like a choir, each strand singing a note that harmonizes with the song of creation. When your thoughts are filled with harmony, that song is beautiful, and life echoes it back to you as health, peace, and abundance. When your thoughts are dissonant, filled with fear, anger, or despair, the song becomes distorted, and life mirrors that distortion. The universe is a faithful mirror, not a punisher. It gives you what you continuously project. But the moment you change the inner song, the outer reflection must change. This is law, and the law never fails. You can speak to your DNA in the quiet of your own being, even now. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the gentle rhythm of your breath. Imagine light moving through your body, flowing through your veins like liquid gold. Whisper within, beloved life within me, I now align with the highest truth of my existence. I am the expression of divine perfection. I release every code of fear, and I activate the blueprint of infinite love. As you do this, you are not pretending. You are reprogramming the energy patterns that shape your experience. Every repetition strengthens the new pattern until it becomes natural, automatic, embodied. There is a vast intelligence guiding your evolution, and your cooperation with it determines the speed of your transformation. The more you trust, the faster you rise. Doubt slows vibration, faith accelerates it. The moment you decide that you are no longer bound by what was, your DNA begins to translate that decision into biological and energetic reality. You are literally signaling new instructions to your body, your mind, and your environment. The miracle is not in the words themselves, but in the belief that fuels them. Belief is the key that unlocks the command. It is the voltage behind the spoken decree. Life has always been listening to you. Every prayer, every thought, every inner whisper has been recorded in the field. The universe never forgets. It responds in divine timing, awaiting your readiness to receive. You may think the past defines you, but in truth, it was only your previous vibration expressing itself in form. You can shift frequencies at any moment. You can declare a new identity, and the universe will rearrange itself accordingly. Say within, I am the embodiment of divine order now. I am guided by infinite wisdom. Every aspect of my being resonates with perfect love and clarity. Let that be your song morning and night, and watch how rapidly life reorganizes itself to match your conviction. The time is coming when humanity will no longer see itself as victims of genes or fate. The new understanding will be that consciousness writes biology. Every organ, every molecule is animated by the life of the spirit, and this spirit obeys awareness. Those who master the art of inner command will live in radiant health, unshaken peace, and creative abundance. You are among those pioneers, for you have chosen to awaken now. You are here to prove through your own transformation that spirit governs matter. You are here to demonstrate that the invisible law of faith is more powerful than any external condition. You have seen how fear can weaken the body and cloud the mind. Now witness how faith can regenerate and restore. When you speak with certainty that divine intelligence is operating perfectly through you, cells begin to rejuvenate, energy returns, ideas flow. You are bathing your being in higher frequencies, dissolving the heavy patterns of the past. Imagine each cell as a tiny sun glowing brighter with every affirmation of truth. You are not forcing change. You are revealing what has always been within you. The divine pattern of perfection never left. It only awaited your recognition. Every act of awareness sends ripples through your DNA. Every time you forgive, you release the chains that bound generations before you. Every moment of gratitude rewrites history, sending light backward through the ancestral line, transforming pain into wisdom. You are not merely healing yourself, you are uplifting the collective field. The energy of your transformation blesses countless others, for consciousness is one. What you awaken in yourself, you awaken in the world. Learn to dwell often in the feeling of fulfillment. Before any dream becomes visible, it must be felt as real. The feeling is the bridge between spirit and form. When you feel wealth, you magnetize wealth. When you feel love, you magnetize love. When you feel harmony, you magnetize peace. Your DNA responds not to words alone, but to the emotional charge behind them. This is why joy is sacred. It is the language your DNA understands most clearly. Live as if the miracle were already complete, and your cells will vibrate to that rhythm until it manifests outwardly. Let your imagination become the architect of your destiny. The picture you hold steadily in your mind is the pattern your DNA follows. See yourself radiant, successful, serene. Do not waver from that vision. When doubt tries to intrude, gently replace it with a higher thought. I am divinely guided, and my path unfolds in perfect order. Hold this image not as a wish, but as a truth already established in the invisible. The law of creation is exact. What you persist in imagining must externalize. Your DNA is the living book of life, but you are the author continually writing its pages. Each time you affirm truth, you inscribe new lines of power. Each time you indulge in fear, you write confusion. Yet no word is final until you decide it is. You can always choose to erase the old and begin anew. The pen of consciousness is in your hand. Use it wisely. Write only what you desire to experience. Speak only that which uplifts, blesses, and expands. The universe listens attentively to your every decree. The energy of your thoughts does not stop at the boundaries of your body. It radiates outward, influencing the field around you. Others feel it unconsciously. Circumstances adjust to it automatically. You have experienced days when everything flowed with grace. That was alignment. You have known days of resistance. That was misalignment. The difference lies only in vibration. The moment you return to the frequency of peace, the outer world begins to flow again. Peace is power, for it signals complete trust in divine order. Speak to your DNA. I rest in peace. I move in peace. I create in peace. My life is an unfolding of peace. Such calm commands are stronger than any struggle. The greatest discovery you will ever make is that your body is not separate from your soul. It is the soul's language in physical form. When you bless your body, you bless the spirit. When you condemn it, you block the flow of divine intelligence. Speak love into your body daily. Place your hand over your heart and feel it beating in perfect rhythm with the infinite. Say quietly, every heartbeat echoes divine perfection. Every breath carries the life of God through me. I am renewed, I am whole, I am light. Feel the truth behind those words. The more you feel, the faster the transformation. You were never meant to be bound by fate. Fate is only the shadow cast by unconscious thought. The moment you awaken and take conscious command, destiny becomes creation. You realize that nothing is truly fixed. Everything is fluid, malleable, alive. Even what seems impossible can be reshaped by sustained faith. The spiritual code within your DNA is infinite. It contains pathways of evolution that unfold as your consciousness expands. Each new realization activates another layer of potential. You are an unfolding masterpiece of divine intelligence discovering itself through experience. There are no limits to what can be rewritten when you align with truth. You can reprogram your relationship with time, with aging, with scarcity. You can dissolve patterns of illness, of fear, of unworthiness. The only law is belief. If you believe in limitation, you energize it. If you believe in divine order, you call it forth. The creative power of consciousness is impartial. It simply mirrors your conviction. This is why self-awareness is the highest form of mastery. To know what you are believing in every moment and to choose beliefs that serve your divine purpose. Let your inner dialogue become your prayer. Let it be filled with beauty, gratitude, and faith. When you wake, greet the day as a friend. This day unfolds in perfect order. My DNA radiates health, clarity, and joy. Everything I need flows to me effortlessly. When you retire at night, give thanks. I am grateful for the divine intelligence guiding my life. As I rest, every cell regenerates and I awaken renewed. Speak these words not mechanically but with deep feeling. The subconscious mind accepts feeling as truth and begins to reprogram your entire being accordingly. Each moment of awareness is a seed of transformation. Each loving thought plants new light in the garden of your DNA. As these seeds blossom, they become the experiences you call your life. Guard your inner garden. Tend to it with care. Refuse to let the weeds of fear or doubt take root. Water it daily with faith and gratitude. Soon, you will walk among the fruits of your inner labor, peace, vitality, prosperity, and joy, and you will know they were always yours to create. The moment you begin to live consciously, every breath becomes sacred. Every word becomes an act of creation, and every thought becomes a brushstroke painting the canvas of your destiny. You start to recognize that the same intelligence that grows a blade of grass, that directs the stars in their orbit, is the intelligence that animates you. You are not separate from that creative power. You are its expression in human form. You are a vessel through which the infinite reveals itself. When you realize this, fear loses its grip, doubt dissolves, and you begin to move through life as a co-creator, not a bystander. Your DNA is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the spiritual and the material, and it responds faithfully to the tone of your consciousness. If you speak to it with love, it blossoms. If you speak with fear, it constricts. The cells of your body are conscious. They respond to your emotional climate like flowers to sunlight. When you dwell in gratitude, they open, they communicate harmoniously, and the energy of life flows freely through you. When you dwell in anxiety, they tighten, creating dissonance and confusion. But you are never trapped in any vibration. You can shift it instantly by changing the story you tell yourself. The moment you say, "I choose peace," your entire system begins to reorganize around that command. The energy field adjusts, the nervous system calms, and the DNA begins transmitting new instructions that align with serenity and balance. It is a sacred responsibility to speak only words that uplift and empower, for each utterance is an instruction to the universe. Even idle complaints carry energy. They shape the unseen. When you become mindful of your language, you take back your creative power. You realize that nothing spoken is ever lost. It echoes in the field, influencing what comes next. Speak, therefore, as one aware of the divine law. That thought clothed in feeling becomes reality. Every phrase beginning with "I am" is a command. When you say, "I am unworthy," the field arranges itself to prove it true. When you say, "And I am divine," the same law fulfills that truth with equal precision. Imagine your consciousness as light moving through your DNA, reading and rewriting its script. The more elevated your thoughts, the higher the frequency of that light, and the more your biology reflects health, youth, and vitality. You are capable of regeneration beyond what the human mind has been taught to believe. The potential for renewal lies dormant, waiting only for your recognition. Speak daily to that potential. I awaken the power of divine renewal within me. Every atom of my being vibrates with life. My DNA now expresses the perfection of spirit. These words are not mere affirmations. They are sacred decrees spoken by the Creator within you. There is no separation between the energy of your thought and the substance of your world. The conditions you experience are echoes of inner vibration. When you understand this, you stop struggling against appearances and instead address the cause. You stop asking the world to change and begin changing your consciousness. This is the secret of mastery, to live from the inside out, not the outside in. The outer world is malleable, but the inner world is the mold. When you mold it with faith, conviction, and divine love, the external must conform. Your DNA is not a static structure, but a symphony of frequencies, constantly interpreting the music of your mind. Each emotion plays a note in this great orchestra of being. Joy resonates as high, pure light, resentment as dense vibration. Both send messages through your nervous system, your hormones, and your energy field. The question is never whether you are creating, but what you are creating. To change your life, change your inner song. Sing the melody of harmony, and your world will dance to its rhythm. Many live unaware of this divine mechanism, believing themselves bound by circumstance, by age, by inherited traits. Yet the awakened one knows that the power of creation is not external. It flows from within. The same consciousness that carved rivers and lifted mountains resides in your being. You have inherited not weakness but divinity. Every time you affirm your unity with infinite intelligence, that truth becomes more deeply encoded in your DNA, replacing the false messages of limitation absorbed from the world. Begin to see your body as an instrument of spirit, perfectly designed to carry your divine purpose. When you speak to your DNA, do so with reverence. Tell it, you are a perfect expression of divine intelligence. You know how to heal, how to adapt, how to evolve. Every cell in my being now resonates with truth and light. Feel those words ripple through your body like waves of golden fire. Feel them awaken dormant abilities, dissolve old patterns, and harmonize the systems of your being. You are commanding your biology with the language of the divine. When you speak these truths, speak them not only for yourself but for the collective. The vibration you sustain contributes to the greater field of humanity. Each thought of peace adds light to the collective consciousness. Each affirmation of love strengthens the whole. You are part of a grand symphony of souls awakening together, each rewriting the code of existence through awareness. What you heal within yourself sends ripples through the entire human DNA field. Your transformation is not isolated. It uplifts the entire web of life. Do not underestimate the subtlety of your influence. When you walk through the world with peace in your heart, you transmit coherence to others without a word. Their DNA senses the harmony in yours and begins to resonate with it. This is the silent teaching of vibration, the invisible communion of souls. In this way, your personal awakening becomes an offering to the world. You become a living transmitter of divine order, reminding others, even unconsciously, of what they are. The process of rewriting your future begins in the quiet moments when no one is watching. It begins when you choose faith over fear, when you affirm truth instead of limitation. Each small choice accumulates until the tide of your destiny turns completely. The subconscious mind, once saturated with old beliefs, becomes illuminated with new understanding. Your DNA begins to mirror that understanding, expressing vitality, confidence, and clarity. You move through life guided by intuition rather than logic, for the spirit within you knows the way far better than the intellect. There will be moments when doubt whispers that change is impossible, that your past is too heavy, that your limitations are too real. In those moments, speak with renewed authority. Say, I am not bound by appearances. I am spirit expressing through form, and spirit knows no limit. Feel that truth reverberate through your being until the illusion of limitation dissolves. The outer world will always reflect the inner, so hold steadfast to the inner vision until it becomes your lived reality. Your DNA is the key to your divine remembrance. It carries the memory of your true identity, an identity not born of time but of eternity. When you meditate, pray, or affirm truth, you are awakening that memory, reconnecting with the infinite. You begin to realize that what you once sought outside, power, love, wisdom, has been coded within you all along. You are the treasure, and your awareness is the map that leads to it. Each day offers you a choice, to repeat the patterns of the past or to create something entirely new. When you wake in the morning, you stand at the threshold of infinite possibility. The universe awaits your command. Will you declare, this day will be filled with peace, joy, and divine guidance? Or will you unconsciously repeat the vibrations of yesterday? The moment you choose consciously, the current of creation shifts in your favor. Life responds instantly to the language of awareness. Even the smallest act of faith sends a signal to the field. When you choose kindness instead of criticism, When you choose gratitude instead of complaint, when you choose love instead of judgment, you alter the code of your being. Every choice becomes an affirmation of your divine nature, and as those choices accumulate, the very pattern of your life transforms. You begin to attract experiences that reflect the vibration of the divine code now active within you. You are the alchemist of your destiny, transforming thought into substance, vibration into experience, belief into reality. You were never meant to be a passive observer of creation. You are its co-architect. The universe delights in your awareness, for through your awakening it expands. Each time you affirm your unity with the infinite, the whole of creation rejoices, for another channel of divine expression has been opened. Speak, therefore, to your DNA as the master you are. Command it with love, guide it with wisdom, and trust it with faith. Tell it that you remember who you are, a being of light, limitless, eternal, and divine. Feel that truth resonate through every atom, every strand of your being. Feel it radiate beyond your body into the field of life itself. This is how the code of spiritual genetics awakens. The light of your awareness ignites the pattern of your perfection, and creation responds in kind, reshaping itself in the image of your highest vision.